let's look at this question from November 2024, the paper 2 that they wrote last year in grade 10 now, of course. Looking at this question, you should be, and just reading there the start of 8.1, you should be seeing that this is a midpoint type question. So let's quickly read the information. They're telling us this is a right angle triangle, right? At B, meaning B is where the 90 degrees is. Then they're telling you F, G, and H are all midpoints on the lines that they are lying on these lines now. And then E lies on AB such that this is a straight line. Okay. Then the first question is asking to prove that E is a midpoint. Okay. So here we want to prove that those are equal. Right. But you can't do that straight from here. So this is quite a bit of work. So what you are going to have to do is you are first going to have to prove that EF and BC are parallel, because if they are parallel, and because of this midpoint or that one, depending on how you're looking at it, then E is also the midpoint of this line. Okay, but we don't have parallel, so we're going to work in this triangle over here, this AGC, this one, where we get H is a midpoint and F is a midpoint. Okay, therefore the lines are parallel. So let's start by writing that down. So we start by saying that AF and FC are equal, and similarly AH and HG are equal. Therefore, we can conclude that HF is parallel to GC. And because we're given a midpoint and a midpoint, this is midpoint theorem. From this, we can actually conclude that BC is parallel to EF, or you could have gone the route of saying EH and BG are equal. Okay, depends on how you're seeing it and which triangle you are going to use next. Then we have that BC and EF are parallel, and okay, so this is now the whole line, that AF is equal to FC. This makes E the midpoint, right? So you can either say AE is equal to EB, and this is now converse midpoint theorem, is what we sometimes call it. Or the more correct reason, that is line through midpoint parallel to second side. This is actually what is in your official reasons. Okay, or you could have gone straight. So instead of saying the equal, the side lengths, you could have said E is the midpoint of AB. Okay, so whether you write both or straight go here, either way is fine. Okay, so now we have that those are equal. We have that these are parallel. All of those things have been proven. Now they are telling you that EH is 4,5 centimeters. And the area of AEH, okay, so this area over here is that. Calculate the length of AB. Okay, so AB is not a side for this triangle, but AB and is actually made up of two equal sides. That's actually the AE. So if you can find AE and double it, then you'll have AB. Okay, so let's go write it down. Now, firstly, there's a reason they gave you this 90 here. You can only do area at this point in your life, in grade 10, if you have 90 degrees, okay? So you need to first say that this is 90, but you can't just magically boom, baff, it's 90. You must first say AEH is 90 because of the parallel lines and the corresponding angles. So corresponding angles. And you add your parallel lines. Okay, now we have the 90. Then you can say, so the area of a triangle is equal to half base times perpendicular height. Okay, the area we were given is 17,5. Okay, it's a half. And then you got the base, which is 4,5. You just need to find the height, which is, let's call it AE for now. And then you're going to find AE by saying 17,5 divided by the half times the 4,5. And then to get AB, you are going to take that answer you just got and double it. So in other words, you have 15,56. Okay, so we know each of these are 7,78. So the whole line here is actually 15,56. Now they're asking for the whole ABC's area. Okay, so we have this distance sorted. We need this distance, right? Because those are the two that are perpendicular. That's your base and your height. So what you're going to do is first find BG, which we should know because of midpoint theorem or converse. In this case, you can use either depending on what information you write down. 4,5, this one will be double, which is 9. I'm just going to use midpoint in this case because E is a midpoint and H is a midpoint. That will have that the two are parallel, whatever. That's not the part we're interested in. We are interested in the fact that BG will be 2 times EH. Okay, midpoint theorem, which means it's 2 times 4,5, which is 9 centimeters. Okay, now we have, this is 9, meaning that BC will be 2 times 9, which is 18. And then we can go substitute. So the area of triangle ABC is half times 18 times the 15,56 we just calculated earlier. Yeah, so then we're getting 140,04 centimeters squared. Are we done?